everyone. Welcome back to the channel Code and Clarity. In this video, we are going to understand the OSI model. One of the most important topics in computer networks, very important for interview questions may come. This computer network questions about the layers of OSI model. Then what is OSI model is extremely important topic. So we'll be discussing it now. By the end of this video, the OSI model will finally make sense to you whether you are preparing for exams, placements or interviews. Now, what is OSI model? Let's start with the basics. OSI stands for Open Systems Interconnection Model. So it is a conceptual framework that explains how data travels from one computer to another over a network. Instead of treating communication as one complex process, OSI divides it into 7 different layers where each layer has a specific particular responsibility. Now, why is OSI model important? You might ask, why do we need the OSI model? The OSI model provides a standard way to understand the networking. It helps engineer troubleshoot the problems easily. If something goes wrong, you know exactly which layer to check. Like, what is the exact problem? Where lies the exact problem? It is heavily used in college exams, viva and interviews, and it turns complex networking concepts into something easy and much more structured. So basically it makes the computer network concept or the complex network concepts much more simple. What are the different layers of the OSI model? The OSI model has 7 layers and data flows through this layer step by step. So from bottom to top, the layers are, remember, from bottom to top. Okay. Physical layer, data link layer, network, then transport layer, then session layer, then presentation layer, and at last application layer. So let's understand each layer one by one. Now what about the layer 1, that is the physical layer? The physical layer is the lowest layer. It is responsible for transmitting raw bits, that is zeros and ones. This layer deals with cables, signals, voltage levels, hardware devices. Basically this layer answers the question, how is data physically sent from one device to another? Next is the data link layer. This layer ensures that data is transferred without errors in between the two directly connected devices. It basically handles error detection, MAC addresses, framing of data. Now switches work at this layer. It makes sure that data reaches the correct device on a local network. So it checks that data is transmitted correctly without errors. So basically handles the error detection, and it also does the framing of data, divides the data into frames. Okay, so basically it makes sure that data reaches the correct device on the network. Okay, means the data doesn't get transmitted to the wrong device. It checks that. Next is the network layer. The network layer is responsible for routing and path selection. It uses IP addresses to decide the best path for data to travel from source to destination. So routers operate at this layer. In simple words, this layer decides which route should the data take to reach its destination. So basically the routing occurs, means a selection of the path selection. Which route should the data take, that would be the best path for the data to travel from source to the destination. Basically the routing, that is the path selection. Which is the best path for the data to reach the destination from the source. This is basically the function of network layer and the concept of routing and path selection. And it uses IP addresses for this purpose. The fourth layer is the transport layer. This is one of the most important layers, that is the transport layer. It provides end-to-end communication in between devices. So here we have the TCP, which is reliable but it is slower. And next is the UDP. UDP is faster but less reliable. TCP actually stands for the Transmission Control Protocol and UDP stands for User Datagram Protocol. This layer manages the flow control, error control and ensures that data reaches the destination correctly. So this is it provides the main communication channel, that is the end-to-end communication, and we have two types. It may be either TCP or it may be UDP. TCP is much more reliable but it is slower. UDP is faster but it is not reliable, and it manages the flow control, error control, and ensures that data reaches the destination correctly. Next is the session layer. The session layer manages communication sessions in between the devices. Now it is responsible for establishing a session, then maintaining that session and terminating the session. So think of it like a phone call. Okay, it starts the call, keeps the call active, and ends it properly. So that is basically the session layer function. That is, it manages the communication session in between the devices, establishes it, maintains it, and then finally terminates it. Next is the presentation layer, that is the sixth layer. The presentation layer deals with how data is presented. Its responsibilities include data formatting, then encryption and decryption, and also data compression. This layer ensures that data sent by one system is readable by another system. So it encrypts the data for its security, then again decrypts it, also formats the data, and also sometimes compresses the data whenever required. So this is how the data is presented. Okay, it checks the presentation of the data so that the data is readable by another system. This is the basic concept. Now last, that is the seventh layer, is the application layer. The application layer is the topmost layer and the closest to the user. This layer enables user interaction through web browsers, email clients, and applications. So there are protocols like HTTP, that is hypertext transfer protocol, then FTP, file transfer protocol, then SMTP, etc. They simple mail transfer protocol. So these type of protocols actually work at this layer, that is the application layer. Okay, which is the topmost layer. It actually enables user interaction, handles the web browsers, email clients, applications. I hope this is clear. Let's deal with a real life example. Let's connect everything. Now suppose our use case is sending a WhatsApp message. Now when you send a WhatsApp message, it starts at the application layer, okay, then moves down layer by layer, travels through the network, and then goes back up the layers onto the receiver's phone. So all of this happens in milliseconds, and all the credit actually goes to the OSI model. To summarize, each OSI layer has a specific role. All the layers work together, and the OSI model makes networking easier to understand, debug, and design. So if you understand the OSI model well, many networking topics become much more simpler. This is actually the base of networking, this open system interconnection model. Now, if this video helped you understand the OSI model clearly, please like the video, subscribe to Code and Clarity, and comment OSI clear below. I'll see you in the next computer science concept explained simply. Goodbye. Have a nice day.